After a few days off, I am back. We got news to discuss going on across baseball. I'm excited to share. How's it going, everybody? My name is FamedFriar. Welcome back to another video where today we are going to be discussing the news across baseball. If you are yet to subscribe, like over 75% of people that watch my videos are, I recommend you do so. Let's talk about what's going on across baseball. Starting off hot, Baltimore Orioles. They make a trade here, acquiring Cole Irvin from the Oakland A's in exchange for Darrell Hernandez is heading to the A's. One more player as well, and the deal is Kyle Verbitsky. Very hard names to say. I'm sorry if I butchered them, but Swervin Irvin is going to be more, and this is a phenomenal fit. As a guy who's very pitch to contact, this is the perfect stadium for him with that new left field scenario, so to say. Unsure what to describe it as, but I mean, they needed this. You know, one thing that was promised by the GM of the Orioles this offseason was, hey, we are going to add pitching. And you know what they haven't really done, but outside of one signing that was pretty mediocre, they haven't added pitching. Kyle Gibson's, you know, it's an okay signing. He'll work out for them. But besides that, they haven't added anyone. So they decide to add Swervin Irvin, who is a very solid lefty, in my opinion. I mean, this guy is going to eat innings for you. He's going to fill up the zone. He's going to create contact. He's not exactly the strikeout guy that, you know, maybe they need, but now they're starting to put together a little bit of a rotation here. We're talking about a pretty solid rotation here. You're going to have, you know, Grayson Rodriguez coming up. You're going to have, you know, some other pieces around. Of course, the question is kind of how are those other pieces going to do? Because if I remember correctly, the Orioles had some random people starting last year. I mean, they have Kyle Gibson, Cole Irvin, of course, Swervin Irvin, who they just traded for, Kyle Bradish, Dean Kramer, Tyler Wells. They're also going to have another arm coming back from Tommy John, and this is going to be the kind of the guy that we wonder how is this going to affect the team. If you don't know who I'm talking about John Means, the guy that threw a no-hitter in 2021. He is going to be back. I mean, the rotation's solid. This is what's projected by Fangraphs. They don't have John Means in there, but I expect him to be in the mix. Of course, the projection for Cole Irvin is at 4.55 ERA. Kyle Gibson's a 4.23 ERA. Not the greatest, but I think they'll do better than that. Moving on to the next piece of news, we have two extensions from the Rays. Two pretty interesting ones. When is Randy Arozarena going to come? I think they're going to sign Randy Arozarena to an extension at some point. But now we got Pete Fairbanks, 3 years, 12 mil, as well as you have Yandy Diaz, 3 years, 24 mil, I believe. It's not in front of me. Fairbanks is an elite closer. Let's start there. This guy is one of the best relievers in baseball. He proved it in the 2020 playoffs. I remember watching him and I was like, this guy is legit. Now, he did have Tommy John, comes back this year, pitches 22 scoreless innings at the end of the year. This is a big-time contract for him, like a two-time Tommy John guy. Pretty good stuff for him. I'm proud of him in that sense. Now, what is the plan? I think the Rays may be trying to go for it all in the next 3 to 5 years, maybe. Who knows? I mean, they have several decently sized contracts. This may be the highest payroll of recent history for the Rays. And Yandy Diaz, this extension was, you know, it was necessary apparently. At some point, Rays fans thought it was coming. Deal is done. You get yourself Yandy Diaz, who finished top 25 in MVP voting, if my memory is correct this year. I mean, this guy plays all positions. He's a stud. The Rays, I think they seriously are spending a little bit. This is the most they've spent in my recent memory. And they're looking to compete, man. The last piece of news is another extension. Breaking news, National League batting champion Jeff McNeil and the New York Mets are in agreement on a 4-year, $50 million extension pending physical. Now, the deal is told to ESPN to include a 5th-year club option that could take up to 63.75, so about 13.75 million on that club option. Jeff McNeil, the batting champ, is going to remain in New York. I believe he was a free agent after this year. That is just a guess. I'm not sure. He's been in the league for a decent amount, so I'm sure he's finishing up arbitration. But I mean, this guy, once again, this guy's a contact hitter. People say overpaid, whatever. He plays a lot of positions. He's a contact hitter. He gets on base. And if he can set the table for, you know, Polar Bear Pete, and they need that one more big bat in my mind, besides the pitching they have, I mean, this is one of the best teams in baseball as is. If they add another big bat, like imagine if they did add Carloscorrea, what having Jeff McNeil in front of Carloscorrea for 4 to 5 years would guarantee him. That is all the news going on across baseball. I really wanted to share it with everybody. Comment down below what you think of all these moves, your opinions. A lot of extensions. We're kind of at that point of the year where it's right before spring training / in spring training when you get a lot of extension talk. But these are all fun moves. And you know what? I don't think any of these moves are really bad that we discussed, to be honest. That is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you're yet to hit that subscribe button, please do so. Same thing with that like button. I'll see you guys all in a video very, very soon. Peace.
Sometimes I like to poke the bear. Did I poke you the other day when I say the Padres Padres?
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy now, baby? They've been slating us all year, but you know, here we are.
That's what we're talking about.
Going to the championship series.